Boardman School Board meeting erupts into a shouting match between pro-mask and anti-mask parents. Next on First News at 11, what each side had to say.
Plus 3 levies on the ballot in Lowville to support police, fire, and the school. What would it mean if all 3 of them pass?
Showers drifting around this evening, and cooler temperatures will blow more showers in our direction heading into tomorrow. Just how cold we turn and what you can expect throughout your Tuesday, that's coming up.
And what the YSU trustees decided to help deal with the drop in enrollment.
Investigative, in-depth, local coverage starts now. This is WKBN 27 First News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Stan Boney.
And I'm Alexis Walters. Nowhere in our area has the school masking issue been so passionate as Boardman, where currently there are a mask mandate in place.
Parents opposing them have protested on Route 224 and have been at every school board meeting since August. Tonight, they were back again, as were parents supporting masks. First News reporter Taylor Long was also there. She has our top story at 11.
Boardman High School's cafeteria was filled with parents that were both for and against the mask mandate. Some who were against held up signs reading, "I can't breathe," and "My kids, my choice." Parents saying they just want transparency and answers. One parent sharing a different kind of sign in the form of a photo.
Look at each of these kids' faces. Look at their smile, look at their eyes. These 3 young kids are why I'm up here today. I'm sick and tired of the go-around the board has been giving us, and I'm sick and tired of you hiding behind a mask mandate.
Others in favor of masks thanked the board for putting the mask mandate in place and for keeping their kids safe. One young man who was a sophomore at Boardman High School spoke up saying he thinks masks are an important part of keeping kids safe. He has a sister battling cancer and says if wearing a mask protects her and others, wearing one is a no-brainer.
It is important that we respect and protect all of the students and staff around us. I have had COVID, and it is something I don't want to deal with again. I don't want my family to have or anyone else to deal with.
But others wonder what can be done differently with the mandate. One parent even suggested both sides meet to try and work together.
To me, a mask isn't necessarily just covering your face. It could be the face shield. That's also a type of mask. Parents on both sides could come together in a group of maybe 3 and 3 or, and say, hey, could we try this?
During the meeting, things did get tense at times. Multiple people were interrupted while speaking. Right before the executive session, some parents got in each other's faces and things got heated. A half-dozen police officers who were at the meeting had to break up the slight altercation. One man was screaming to not vote for the current board members. A group of 10 parents filed a lawsuit against the school board and Superintendent Tim Saxton to remove the mask mandate. A judge has yet to make a ruling in the case. In Boardman, Taylor Long, WKBN 27 First News.
New guidelines were announced today for how schools in Ohio should handle students exposed to COVID. The Ohio Department of Health is now recommending that kids exposed to COVID in school quarantine in class as long as they wear a mask for 14 days, monitor their symptoms, isolate, and then get tested if they have symptoms. As for extracurriculars like band or sports, kids can keep playing as long as they wear a mask when possible and then get tested immediately after learning of exposure. Then again, test 5 to 7 days later.
Well, there was some rain around today, not much, but there was also some sunshine too, and that warmed things up a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Doesn't sound like that's going to be the case for us tomorrow, though. Sounding like it's going to be a little on the chilly side. Chief Meteorologist Paul Wetzel's in with a look.
That's right, chipping away at these temperatures again this week, and thanks to this powerful storm system that is moving through and now into western Pennsylvania for us tonight. But the showers have been pretty light, at least so far. Let's get into Storm Team 27 Viper radar, picking up on a few of these as we get toward the backside of this storm system, and showers drifting on through parts of Mahoning down into Columbiana County, some of the heavier ones around, and that does include Boardman, right on down into North Lima, even south of New Buffalo here, southeast of Canfield, and then into Columbiana County from Leetonia to Columbiana on through Rogers and pushing down toward Glenmore, and even as far south as Wellsville, getting a few of those drops drifting on through this evening. So these are pivoting toward the Pennsylvania line. The shift will continue to turn to the northwest tonight, bringing in cooler temperatures, and you can see some lake effect actually going in the other direction here to our northwest, but that will shift around as that colder air pours in. Dropping through the 50s now, but we keep falling into the morning. Mid 40s is what I expect to get out the door. Some gusty wind shifting in here overnight, jumping up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, and that'll stick around tomorrow too, making it feel even cooler. A chance of showers hit and miss through the day. Expected afternoon highs barely close to 50 degrees by late afternoon.
Voters in Lowellville next Tuesday will be deciding on how 3 levies, 2 of which will mean new taxes, while the other will be to reallocate money for the schools. There are police and fire levies, both for 5 years. The police levy is for an additional 8.4 mils, the fire levy an additional 3.4 mils. If both pass, for the owner of a house valued at $65,000, it will mean an extra $268 a year. The school levy, however, will actually decrease from 4.2 mils to 4 mils, and if passed, it'll decrease taxes on a $65,000 house by about $2 a year. On one end of the brick sign at the Lowellville School building is the year 2002, the year the school opened. The debt to build the school building will be paid off next year. Now the money's needed to keep it up.
Even though the tax ballot says it's an additional tax, if you take a step back and look at reality, it's not an additional tax. It is more or less a replacement tax at a lower value.
The school levy money will pay for any improvements lasting at least 5 years, like a new track, roof, windows, or an HVAC system. The police levy money will go to replace 2 aging vehicles and eventually to dispatching services, which the village has never had to pay for. Some of the money for the fire department will support the ambulance service, which with an aging population has increased. Lowellville Mayor Jim Adduciani was unavailable for an interview today, but I did get a chance to text with him back and forth. I asked him if having 3 levies on the ballot at the same time in Lowellville could hurt their chances of passage. He answered back, obviously, yes.
I think that the voters of Lowellville are very intelligent, and they will read about which levies are for what.
A fact sheet on the Lowellville police and fire levy states that if they pass, it will free up other money for other things, such as storm and sewer improvements.
The YSU Board of Trustees is working to help improve enrollment numbers. The board met this morning in a special meeting to discuss the projected budget impact. The trustees voted to approve a resolution that calls for rigorous quality improvement and academic portfolio optimization. Now, the university has also implemented student recruitment and retention strategies. It comes after more than a 7% drop in student enrollment. YSU's enrollment is the lowest it's been since becoming a state university in 1967. There are just over 11,000 students enrolled at the school. Work continues to bring power to a new battery plant in Lordstown. Plus, students learned about the dangers of social media in Boardman. Tonight, their parents got a lesson in it, too.
And in 12 minutes, a ring lost more than 70 years ago by the husband of a Youngstown area woman is returned, where it was found and how she got it back.
You report it, 27 investigates. Download the WKBN 27 mobile app and tap Report It. watching out for you and your community. This is WKBN 27 First News.
Parents and students from Boardman Center Intermediate School got to learn more about the dangers of social media today. Representatives from the Juvenile Justice Center talked to parents about the benefits and risks of social media and technology. Now, if those risks come up, they wanted parents to be prepared for anything and to prevent problems from occurring. This is something you usually hear about in middle and high school, but officials say that sexting behaviors can start around age 12.
Talking to students in high school and middle school is really talking to them too late. It's after problems have already started to develop. So our preference is to talk with those students, definitely, but also to talk to younger students to prevent the problem before it occurs.
Educators say they are seeing more and more younger kids having access to phones and social media.
The East Liverpool schools have received a grant to help students get connected to the internet. The East Liverpool schools have received $34,000 from the FCC Emergency Connectivity Fund. It will help buy Wi-Fi hotspots, modems, routers, broadband connectivity, and tablets for preschool students. Construction is underway on the second phase of the power system to help support the rapidly expanding electric vehicle industry in Lordstown. First Energy provided us with these pictures of a new high-voltage power line being run to accommodate the future needs of the new Ultium Cells battery plant. The work builds upon a new transmission substation that is already finished. The line extends about 3.5 miles and will also help service 15,000 Ohio Edison customers in Lordstown.
An ice rink in Geauga County remains closed after being evacuated Sunday for high levels of carbon monoxide. 150 people were inside the Pond Ice Rink, where they were told to leave after the Auburn Fire Department found the high levels. 3 people were taken to the hospital. Dominion is looking for the cause of the leak, and it's not known if the building has working carbon monoxide detectors. The new taxes you'll have to pay next year when you visit Cedar Point.
And we'll meet 2 band directors from Columbiana County who will march in the Rose Bowl parade.
And we are less than a half-inch away of cracking the top 10 wettest Octobers on record. I'll take you through the last week of the month here to show you what kind of rain I'm looking for on into your Halloween weekend.
Covering major stories developing now and the ones you'll see make headlines tomorrow. This is WKBN 27 First News at 11.
A Salineville man is due back in court later this week, charged with hitting a young teenager on a bicycle with his car and then leaving the scene of the accident. 64-year-old Donald White charged with aggravated vehicular homicide and marijuana possession. State troopers say he hit one of two 13-year-old boys riding their bikes along Route 164 in Fairfield Township Saturday night. The boy later died at the hospital. The accident happened after 9 p.m. Neither bike was equipped with safety lighting.
The Connecticut man wanted in connection to last week's police chase in Mahoning County during an investigation into stolen vehicles is in the hospital. Police say Motrell Holmes jumped from a balcony at the Days Inn in Niles and took a U.S. Marshal with him. Marshals had tracked Holmes to a room there. Niles Police Chief Jay Holland says there was a scuffle when marshals entered the room. He says one of the marshals grabbed onto Holmes and Holmes dove off the balcony. Holland says the marshal was treated at the scene and is expected to be okay, but Holmes was taken to the hospital to have his injuries taken care of.
A cold front has now moved through, and you are going to notice the difference when you wake up tomorrow.
That is right. Cold in the morning, and it sounds like cold in the
all day,
afternoon,
yeah.
too. Look forward to it. Chief Meteorologist Paul Wetzel's in with how that's panning out.
And as you step outside, you'll feel the wind trying to hit you, too, making it feel even more blustery across the region as those temperatures stay cool through the day tomorrow. Highs struggling to get back toward that 50-degree mark by the afternoon. And it is thanks to the storm system that is working its way into western Pennsylvania here this evening. And it's shifting those winds, pulling into cooler air, also keeping that gusty wind in the forecast for us overnight. This storm will head toward the coast, causing trouble over in that direction, helping with another storm moving up the coast. But that'll be far and away from us. Here at home, looking for these gusts to continue to move on in tonight, up to 25 in Mansfield, 21 in Lima, 23 down in Columbus. And of course, with that air pivoting in, it's also dragging in the cooler temperatures, already down to 49 in Toledo, 48 in Lima, 48 in Mansfield. And you can see that'll just flow right back in our part of Ohio and western Pennsylvania through tomorrow morning. Right now, those still holding on to the 50s. Showers continue to pop up, though, this evening, and these will be in and out through the night, and they'll be in and out again tomorrow, but in the form of some lake enhancement as that cooler air wraps on in. Here's a look at Storm Team 27 Viper radar showing you how those showers are trying to fill back in behind this storm system tonight. So the overnight, that risk of a shower staying with us right on into early tomorrow morning. Again, temperatures dropping into the mid-40s to get out the door, and they don't get a lot better through the day. A hit or miss shower possible at any point tomorrow, and that chance will stick with us right on through the afternoon. A look at lunchtime. Temperatures don't move a whole lot by that point, but trying to get back into the upper 40s by late afternoon. The showers will stay in the forecast through tomorrow evening. Now, I don't expect a washout tomorrow. These will be very hit and miss right on into the evening, and then they'll wrap up overnight. Temperatures drop back into the mid-40s again Wednesday morning. Want to watch for some fog to get out the door. And then as we go through the day Wednesday, I do look for some sunshine. May take a while for that to break out, but eventually we'll get some sunshine back in the forecast here, and temperatures climbing through the upper 50s Wednesday afternoon. We do even better than that on Thursday. We'll get back into the 60s as we try to warm up. And then the next round of rain moves in to wrap up the week. Tonight down to 46, chance for showers. And overnight low, again, not moving a whole lot through the day tomorrow. That gusty wind will stick around, though, making it feel even cooler. I could see gusts up to 20 to 30 miles per hour on into tomorrow afternoon, close to 50 degrees. A couple of dry days on the way for Wednesday and Thursday. Mid-50s Wednesday, mid-60s on Thursday. I don't have any really cold nights here on into the weekend. Showers return Saturday night, showers Friday night, and showers Saturday. And we get showers again Saturday night. Very unsettled pattern to wrap up the week, and heading into Sunday morning for your Halloween. Still a chance of a few showers around as we wrap up the month. Highs in the mid-50s. The rest of the day looking okay. Monday, highs back in the mid-50s as we start November with a few clouds around.
Well, if you and your family are ride warriors and fans of Cedar Point, be ready for an increase in the ticket prices of 2022. The parent company of Cedar Point and the city of Sandusky have struck a deal that will raise revenue for public projects, but it also increases the taxes on admissions and parking. The admissions tax goes from 4% to 8%, and there will be an 8% parking tax at the park. Now, the money will help fund police and fire service for Sandusky and the construction of new recreation center.
A new park is open in downtown Lisbon near the Greenway Trail and Canoe Launch. It was made possible through a $7,500 grant. An Eagle Scout candidate helped design and build the benches and pergola, while the Columbiana County Career and Technical School made the frame for the sign.
Metal detectors uncover some pretty interesting things. Well, a South Carolina man who was visiting Columbiana County unearthed something that was hidden for 73 years. It was a 1948 Wilson High School class ring. Michael Sheely wanted to return the ring to its owner, so he matched the initials on the inside of the ring to Arthur Cooksey. However, Cooksey passed away in 2016, but Sheely tracked down his family, and he met them in Youngstown 5 weeks later to give that ring back.
Two band directors from Columbiana County will be marching in the Tournament of Roses parade on January 1st. Both Jennifer Mollenkoff of East Palestine and Emily Bowling of Southern Local applied to march. This year's Rose Bowl parade will have over 200 band directors from all over the country. One of them will play the flugelhorn, while the other the clarinet. The high school football playoffs start Friday in Ohio. We have a great game of the week to start things off.
Plus, it's Browns-Steelers week, and at least one Steeler remembers what happened last season. Josh Burkett's next with sports.
Covering the top local rivalries and the sports stories that matter. WKBN Sports Team 27.
Good evening again, everyone. Move over pumpkin spice. It's officially playoff season here in the Valley. Postseason football kicking off this week, both in Ohio and Pennsylvania, as 30 teams combined from both sides of the border look for state championships. And this week, we have a big first-round game in our game of the week. On Friday, it will be a Week 10 rematch in the first round of the Division II Region 5 tournament as Harding will travel to Fitch. Austintown topping the Raiders in Warren this past week. That sealed the deal for the Falcons to grab home field advantage for this one. Head coach TJ Parker says that's important, and in a game like this, expect both teams to pull out all the stops.
We have nothing but the utmost respect for Warren and their staff and their kids. And, you know, in games like this, you know, sometimes you empty the clip and you do whatever you can to get a win because it means that much to both schools.
We're going to have you this one on Friday night. Now take note, our on-air telecast will be Friday at 10 p.m. on MyWTV, not the typical 11 o'clock on Fox Youngstown. That's because of Game 3 of the World Series. So again, that's 10 o'clock on MyWTV. Now, you can also catch the game live at 7 o'clock. To do that, head to our website, WKBN.com, or the mobile app to stream the game live from start to finish. Golf action today, a historic day for the Hickory Hornets. They earned their first ever girls state golf title in program history. They finished 9 over, 14 strokes better than second place. Sasha Petrachko led the Hornets at 2 over. That team's still coming back from York. Hope to catch up with those ladies coming up tomorrow.
The Orange and Brown Report, sponsored by Window World and Bruno Brothers Pizza and Bar Bruno.
To the pros, where it's Steelers-Browns week as the two longtime rivals will go head-to-head for the first time this season Sunday afternoon, but we'll be with a full arsenal of weapons for Cleveland. The Browns without several members of the starting lineup today, including quarterback Baker Mayfield, who did not practice. Neither did J.C. Treader or David Njoku on the offensive side, but some good news for the Orange and Brown. Running back Nick Chubb practiced after missing last week, and Odell Beckham Jr. was also a participant. Head coach Kevin Stefanski is taking the wait-and-see approach with the injury bug.
We just got to work through all of it. It's and the quarterback position really is no different than some of these other positions where guys' availability you might not know Wednesday, you might not know Friday. You guys know Nick. He's gotten a lot of work done these last couple weeks. He's feeling good. He's continuing to get rehab, and I think he's excited to get back out there.
Black and Gold Today, sponsored by Tom Duma Jewelers and JimShorkeyYoungstown.com.
Down in Pittsburgh, the Steelers coming off a bye week with 2 weeks to prepare for the Browns. Pittsburgh won back-to-back games heading into their bye after dropping 3 straight prior to that. The Browns have topped the Steelers in 2 straight games. Now, Pittsburgh hasn't lost 3 straight to Cleveland since 1988. That's nearly 33 years. It's the first meeting for the two teams since last year's playoff game, which saw the Steelers fall at home to Cleveland. Defensive tackle Chris Wormley says they haven't forgotten about that game, and know we're going to be ready no matter who's under center.
Yeah, especially if it was our playoff game we lost, that's going to stick with us for the next 8 months until we put on the pads for camp. So I've been thinking about it a lot. I know a lot of the other guys have been thinking about it, and we're trying to right that ship. We're going to be ready for either. Keenan's been in the league for a long time and has played solid ball his whole career, so we know what he can do.
Steelers, Browns from Cleveland this Sunday afternoon, a 1 o'clock kickoff. You can catch all the action right here on WKBN. World Series first pitch coming your way tomorrow. That's going to be over on Fox Youngstown. It'll be in Houston at Minute Maid Park. The Braves and Astros battling it out for the pennant. First pitch, 8:09. Again, all those games on Fox Youngstown. That's your look at sports. We'll be right back.
watching out for you and your community. This is WKBN 27 First News.
I know the rain is out there now, but I'm hoping on my way to my car I can kind of dodge the raindrops because it doesn't look too heavy, right?
Might. We've only picked up
That doesn't
400
sound
over the last
promising.
hour. So.
You might get a little wet, right,
Yeah. Wishful thinking. We'll get there. Storm Team 27 Viper radar picking up on some of those lighter showers across the area, and that's going to be the case tonight. Now, temperatures keep falling. We'll drop to 46 toward morning, and some gusty wind tries to hold on with cooler temperatures tomorrow. Still a chance of some hit and miss showers through the day. High temperatures struggling to get back toward 50.
I'll make sure I shoot some highlights of you running the car. We'll show it tomorrow.
You'll see me dodging them.
Thanks for joining us here for the news at 11.
You'll have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.